قال المؤلف رحمه الله, said the author, may Allah have mercy upon him. Al-Wahid, the unique. SharH. An-Nasafiyyah al-Alami Wahid. The explanation is that the maker of the world is unique. فلا يمكن أن يصدق مفهوم واجب الوجود إلا على ذات واحد. So it's not possible for what's understood from necessarily existent to be but for a unique being. قال الإمام أبو حنيفة رضي الله عنه في الفقه الأكبر. Imam Abu Hanifa said in Al-Fiqh al-Akbar, وَاللَّهُ تَعَالَى وَاحِدٌ لَا مِنْ طَرِيقِ الْعَدَدِ. Allah Ta'ala is one, not by way of numbers or not by way of counting. وَلَكِنْ مِنْ طَرِيقِ أَنَّهُ لَا شَرِيكَ لَهُ. Rather, it's by way of his not having a partner. وَلَا يُشْبِهُ شَيْئًا مِنَ الْأَشْيَاءِ مِنْ خَلْقِهِ. And his not resembling anything of his creation. وَلَا يُشْبِهُهُ شَيْءٌ مِنْ خَلْقِهِ. And nothing of his creation resembling him. انتهى. واشتهر عند أهل الحق الاستدلال على إثبات الوحدة لله تعالى ببرهان التمانع. And famous to the people of truth is proving the confirmation of God's oneness, God's uniqueness, by an argument called the argument of mutual exclusivity. Mutual exclusivity. That means canceling out. For one thing to cancel out the other. المأخوذ من قوله تعالى لو كان فيهما آلهة إلا الله لفسدتا. That argument, that mental argument that is taken from a Quranic verse. So, because that's the Sunni way. To get the rational arguments from the book itself. The Wahhabi way is that there's no rational arguments. There's not thinking for yourself, not being critical in thinking. That's Wahhabi way. Being a minion only, that's Wahhabi way. لو كان فيهما آلهة إلا الله لفسدتا. Had there been for both of them gods, but God, they would have been in ruin. Had there been for both of them, that means for heavens and earth. Heavens means the upper world, and earth means the lower world, not just the earth we are on. So all heavens and earth, had there been for heavens and earth gods besides God, la fasadata, they both would have been in ruin. That means they would have been in chaos. They would have been in disarray. وَتَقْرِيرُهُ أَن يُقَالَ. And the proper formulation of this argument is that it be said, لَوْ أَمْكَنَ إِلَهَانِ. Had two gods been possible, لَأَمْكَنَ بَيْنَهُمَا تَمَانُعٌ. Then mutual exclusivity would have been possible between them. Yani, it would have been possible that they cancel each other out. بأن يريد أحدهما حركة زيد والآخر سكونه. Which would be by, as an example of course, one of them willing for Zayd to move, to be in motion, and for the other to will for him to be still, motionless. لأن كل منهما في نفسه أمر ممكن. Because each of those two in itself is a possible issue, but not at the same time. وكذا تعلق الإرادة بكل منهما. And likewise, for God's will to pertain to either of those, motion or stillness, that's a possible issue. إذ لا تضاد بين الإرادتين بل المرادين. And there's not a contradiction between the two wills. Rather, the contradiction is between what was willed or what was meant to be. وحينئذ إما أن يحصل الأمران. So upon that, then either both issues would happen, فيجتمع الضدان, and then two opposite things would happen at the same time, at the same place, in the same vessel. أو لا, or not, or يعني not both of them will happen. فيلزم عجز أحدهما. And if not both of them happen, then this dictates that one of them is weak, meaning at least one. وهو أمارة الحدوث. And that, which is weakness, that's a sign of createdness. والإمكان. And that's a sign of merely being possible. Being weak is a sign of the weak one, is a proof that whoever is weak, that the weakling, the one attributed with weakness, he is himself a mere possibility. لما فيه من شائبة الاحتياج. Because by being a weakling, he has the attribute of neediness. He's tainted with neediness. As if it's saying neediness then is one of the ingredients of this weakling. فالتعدد مستلزم لإمكان التمانع. And so multiplicity is what makes mutual exclusivity possible. المستلزم للمحال. And this mutual exclusivity, if it is pertaining to God, is something impossible. فيكون محالا. So it's self-impossible. وهذا تفصيل ما يقال إن أحدهما إن لم يقدر على مخالفة الآخر لازم عجزه. And this is the detail of what is said, that if one of them is not able to, does not have the power to oppose the other, then his weakness is confirmed. وإن قدر لازم عجز الآخر. And if he does have the power to oppose the other, then the weakness of the other is confirmed. وبهذا يندفع ما يقال إنه يجوز أن يتفقا من غير تمانع. And this is how to rebut saying that it's possible that they could agree, they could cooperate without any mutual exclusivity. Because that's what a Christian's going to say. When you tell them, if there's three, then they could cancel each other out. You'll say, "La, they're just going to cooperate." Like as if it's a simple answer. Nah, come on. They're just going to cooperate with each other. If they have to cooperate with each other, means they're weak anyway. If you say they don't have to cooperate, that means then they can defeat each other. There's no way out here. أو أن تكون الممانعة والمخالفة غير ممكن. And this is the way also to rebut claiming that the mutual exclusivity itself and the opposition that should be confirmed for these two gods supposed is not possible. استلزامهما المحال. Because either of those, to say that they have to cooperate or that they cooperate, or to say that they can't go against each other, either way, that's impossible. Both of those answers are impossible. أو أن يمتنع اجتماع الإرادتين كإرادة الواحد حركة زيد وسكونه مع. Hold on, let me make sure I'm following everything here. وبهذا يندفع ما يقال إنه يجوز أن يتفقا من غير تمانع أو أن تكون الممانعة والمخالفة غير ممكن لاستلزامهما المحال أو أن يمتنع اجتماع الإرادتين كإرادة الواحد حركة زيد وسكونه مع. Let me translate this again. وهذا تفصيل ما يقال. This is the detail of what is said. إن أحدهما إن لم يقدر على مخالفة الآخر, that if one of them is not able to oppose the other, لزم عجزه, then his weakness is confirmed. وإن قدر, and if he is able, لزم عجز الآخر, then the other one is weak. وبهذا يندفع ما يقال, and by this there is rebutting what is said. إنه يجوز أن يتفقا من غير تمانع, that it is indeed possible that they cooperate without any mutual exclusivity. أو أن تكون الممانعة والمخالفة غير ممكن, and by this it is rebutted what is said, that it's possible that the mutual exclusivity that you say, yani we say, someone's saying it to us, that it's possible that this mutual exclusivity of which you speak, or this opposition between the two gods that you speak of, is not possible because they are impossible. So we are rebutting that. أو أن يمتنع اجتماع الإرادتين, or that it be said that it's possible that the two wills coming together would be impossible. كإرادة الواحد حركة زيد وسكونه مع. That part's not clear for me, so I'll ask about that inshallah. وهذه الحجة أي قوله تعالى, and this argument, meaning what God said, لو كان فيهما آلهة إلا الله لفسدتا, had there been for heavens and earth gods besides God, then they would be in disarray. حجة برهانية أي قطعية, this is a definitive argument. This is an invincible argument. أي إقناعية, it is sorry, لا إقناعية. So he says this is حجة برهانية أي قطعية. This is an invincible argument. لا إقناعية, it's not. I'm not sure the best way to translate this. Now, إقناع means convincing, to be convincing. Yani, if it's translated as simple as it's worded, then it would go like this. This argument is an invincible argument. It's not merely a convincing argument. So maybe that's the way to really translate it. It's not just a convincing argument, which would mean, yani, what's the intended meaning here? That it's not something that has room, it's not disputable. It's not something that's a good idea, but maybe it's disputable. There's some cracks to fill. Bal mufhima, rather this argument is a silencing one. It's an argument that has no rebuttal altogether. وَلَقَدْ عِيبَ عَلَى الْقَائِلِ بِأَنَّهَا إِقْنَاعِيَّةٌ وَشُنِّعَ عَلَيْهِ تَشْنِيعًا شَدِيدًا. And so Shaykh says, عِيبَ عَلَى الْقَائِلِ, and the one who said that this argument, which is the argument of mutual exclusivity, that's its name, Dalilu Tamanwa, the argument of mutual exclusivity. The one who says that this argument is, yani, It's not a silencing argument. It's not an invincible argument. He has been dispraised. Iba. Yani, how can I explain that? So the aib, this word here, iba, comes from aib. So aib is an imperfection or defect. That's an aib. Like you bought merchandise that has aib, defect. So iba ala al-qa'il. The one who said that this is not an invincible argument. Iba alayhi. Yani, he's disregarded here. Yani, he disappointed us by this saying. This is a disappointing thing for him to say, so we don't feel happy about his saying that. وَلَقَدْ عِيبَ عَلَى الْقَائِلِ بِأَنَّهَا إِقْنَاعِيَّةٌ. And who is that speaker? That's Imam At-Taftazani. At-Taftazani, the explainer of the Nasafi text. Which this explanation that we're reading, it follows that explanation, but it is its own. It's not exactly that. And Shaykh, he criticizes At-Taftazani at some points like here. وَشُنِّيَ عَلَيْهِ تَشْنِيعًا شَدِيدًا. He says, Yani, I'm really trying to be soft in my translation, but if I really translate it how it appears to me, وَلَقَدْ عِيبَ عَلَى الْقَائِلِ بِأَنَّهَا إِقْنَاعِيَّةٌ. Yani, the one who said that this is not an invincible argument, he's dispraised. وَشُنِّيَ عَلَيْهِ تَشْنِيعًا شَدِيدًا. Yani, it's like if I could put it into, let's say, some informal words, it's like saying, he's tripping hard here. He's out of pocket here. How could he go there? This is very unacceptable from him. وَمَعْنَى إِقْنَاعِيَّةٌ. And the meaning of إِقْنَاعِيَّةٌ أَنَّهَا لَا تُعْطِي قَطْعَ الْخَصْمِ بِهَا, is that it's not uh, definitively breaking, refuting, answering the opponent. It doesn't close all doors on the opponent. So Shaykh says that's absolutely a blunder. This argument of mutual exclusivity closes all doors on the opponent. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Allah knows best. Any question? It says, At-Taftazani deemed a heavyweight theologian. I don't know what his rank might be, but he's very famous. And we do cite him, but in some spots we don't agree with him, so we don't cite him there. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.